Are you talking to me? Hey there. Are you talking to me or who? Sorry. I mean, was I mistaken? Was it the guy behind me that you were talking, or were you talking to me?
Yes, we are talking to you.
And we need your help.
What if I refuse?
New
Like-
York,
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
1976.
Uh-huh.
We're here to rank all of Scorsese's movies. Well, I'm not here to do that. You're here to do that.
Yeah, I've
Big
seen
boy.
only a handful of Scorsese's movies, so I need someone who's had the whole scope of them. Put them in order so I know when to watch and where to watch it. You gotta
Where to watch it?
Yeah, I need
know yeah,
what
you didn't know
streaming
that?
service it's,
Oh,
it's
I don't have
available
that.
on.
I do not
First
have
and
that.
foremost,
What sort of
and
TV?
an active password and login.
Okay. Well, I don't have that information for you.
Okay,
I'm sorry to tell you.
Treaded on thin ice already.
And to be clear, wait, we're in 1976
We're
right
in
now?
1976, the
1976.
golden years of film and television.
Okay,
Yep.
but I'm coming from the future.
That's right, because
Yeah.
Scorsese's
He's
just
already-
our little brother. We know he's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I want to know all the movies he's gonna make only up until 2024.
Yeah. 2025. We're in 2025 right
We're in
now.
2025.
Currently.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yes.
2025, early 2025, because Scorsese might have a new
That's
movie
true.
later
Who
in
knows?
2025.
That's true. If he drops
been-
another one,
it seems like he's
yeah.
been on a run.
All at
And
the
let,
same
and,
time.
let, and let me, I would have to ask you a question. You're both from 1976?
Yeah,
like,
different months.
You're
though.
dressed so differently.
Different months.
And these microphones we had in the 70s.
No.
No,
These
these
this
are
is
current
podcast.
Oh, because we're
Yeah.
coming. Okay, yeah,
We
yeah.
are-
We
sorry.
became enamored
Sorry.
with podcasts
Right.
as soon as we stepped out of the time machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is perfect logic, and I'm ready to. Yeah.
Okay.
I fully understand podcasts. I wish we started doing it sooner.
Absolutely.
And we could have used that in 1976.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because when I was going to like the grocery store,
Yep.
when I'm trying to cross the street,
Yeah.
I'm walking here. I don't have anything to listen to.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
I don't have any opinions.
it's crazy.
To judge.
We were stuck with the goddamn radio.
Oh my
Boo.
god! Oh my
That
god!
sucks.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Did not like that.
Yeah.
So should I give
Potatoes were cheap.
Okay, yeah.
The
Should I give
potatoes
you my
were
list?
cheap.
There's a lot of Scorsese movies. You want me to start?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been
yeah.
wanting you to start for the last
But
5
how
minutes,
cheap?
but you've been
How cheap were potatoes?
Dirt cheap.
Okay.
Cheaper than the dirt that the potatoes were grown in. It was more cost efficient
to just hold up a clump of dirt.
Yeah.
All right. So these are only his fiction features. I didn't do the dogs.
I didn't know he did dogs.
I don't care for dogs.
He's got a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
He's got a lot of dogs, but I just
Damn.
did the fiction because I didn't want it to get too unwieldy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen the docs?
Have you seen
Some
any
of
the
them.
dogs?
I've seen some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Um,
The Last Waltz?
That's actually one of the ones I haven't seen.
I've not-
Scorsese did the last waltz.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
He did a bunch of music doc. He did a Bob Dylan one. He did a George Harrison one.
Wow.
He loves
did,
music.
Rolling Stones one.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you are
I
going to
love
do
it.
his master class, right?
Yo, yeah.
You're going to.
The masterclass.
That's
Yeah,
number one.
because that's a
That's
movie.
number one.
All 17 separate chapters
Yeah.
as a different film.
I'm gonna do his performance in the upcoming Seth Rogen show, The Studio.
Yes,
That's the one?
yes.
Yeah.
He's in it, I believe.
Yeah.
I
A
haven't-
big
it's not
part or a little part?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Interesting.
haven't seen it.
And in some of his TikToks that
Of
he's
course.
with his
featured-
daughter?
Yeah.
his daughter.
Well, of
It's
course.
lovely.
Or is
Daughter?
it his granddaughter?
All right, let's start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with an early one. So by my count. And
Are we starting from best to
No,
worst? or
bottom,
worst?
bottom,
Okay.
bottom. Yeah,
Okay,
we're not gonna
okay.
start from one.
Okay.
Who starts
What
a
time
list
are you
from
from?
one?
I like to eat my dessert first. I'm sorry.
So by my count, he's got 26. 26 fiction features. So good for your friend, Martin.
Yeah. Oh, we're very proud of Marty.
Oh, we are so
Who
proud of him.
could imagine having a career that long,
That's
making great
amazing.
films in so many decades, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Keep going.
aughts, 10s, 20s,
Do you think he'll make it to the 60s again?
probably. I
think
don't see
so.
why
You
not.
better.
Yeah.
I got a lot of money.
You know what
riding
I
on
would
this.
do if I was him? Make like 10 more movies,
Yep.
freeze them all,
Mm.
drop one a decade.
Yeah.
Like even if he's passed away. Yeah, exactly.
Postmortem.
And then it's like you could be the only director who's dropped films in like 10 decades.
Absolutely.
Another idea,
Yeah.
they could also sort of, how they capture people's likeness and they're throwing them in movies.
course.
Capture a director's sort of style,
Yeah.
put it into like a chip,
Yeah.
and then suddenly
How do you
Scorsese
know
can-
about this?
I
If you're
like
from the
this.
70s.
Well, I-
you have
podcasts.
access to a time machine.
Podcasts.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
podcasts.
Right.
You get the whole
The gist.
Of course.
human civilization and knowledge
Yeah,
from
sure.
podcasts.
Very easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm starting with 26.
Smartless. It's my favorite.
That that Will Arnett day. Oh, and don't even get me started on his interactions with Sean.
Oh.
Number 26. I gotta go. Okay, and I want to say, I know I've done a lot of preamble. I want to say one more thing.
Please.
Like, I basically like all of these movies.
Okay.
I think they're all good. Most of them even great. Like,
Okay.
other than
You will let us know when we start getting into great
Great,
territory.
okay.
Yeah.
I would
so
appreciate
this is
that.
the only one that I would say I don't. I would say I don't like it.
Okay.
The only one I would say that I don't like.
Everyone gets
Alright.
one.
Yeah.
Maybe number 25 I also would say I don't like, but this
Okay.
one is like, so 26 I'd go with Boxcar Bertha. Which to me is not a bad movie by any means. It's okay. It feels the most like anonymous, I guess, in a way. I don't see a lot of his interests in there
It's
thematically,
completely
stylistically.
anonymous to me. I do not know anything about this movie.
Me as well.
Could you give me like a sentence, a rundown, just a little bit of some detail?
Yeah, it's about a Boxcar Bertha.
Don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And I'm from the 70s.
Is that like like a soapbox race?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
The 25 is his first movie.
Okay.
It's
Mean Streets.
Who's That Knocking at My Door?
Fuck.
I love a lot of like directors' first films, and it's always like interesting to see that as like the stepping stone. Sometimes
Absolutely.
masterpieces come from the first one, but often it's interesting as like a curio. What are they interested in? How can you see that from the beginning and how that evolves in later works? But it's another one where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it very often. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, but you could absolutely see how some of his later films evolved from that. Like, for example, The King of Comedy, because his first movie was named after a knock-knock joke, and then he further got into comedy and that realm.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And who is that knocking at my door?
Who is that knocking at my door? Who?
I didn't expect you to flip it back on me. Shit. 24. Okay. Not the show.
Oh, okay. I was
did not
confused for a
direct
second.
that.
I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Not the time if you're in the military.
Oh, yes.
Mm-mm. Not the hours in the day.
Yeah. Is there a 24
I guess
o'clock?
not. I
on
guess that
the-
would be zero.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
zero.
yeah. I was hoping.
But that's
for
why
that
it's
is-
not. That's why you said it's not that.
because it is a 24-hour clock. They do call it that, but,
But
there's
it's
no,
really a
But you would
23:59
say-
clock.
yeah.
It's you would say zero.
But I know
Oh,
exactly.
it starts
That's
at
why.
zero,
It's a
right?
23:59 clock.
Yeah.
It's not. There's not 24 hours on that clock.
Yeah.
No. Well, there
There's
are.
Actually,
are.
maybe you're wrong.
No.
Maybe there is a 24.
No, I don't think there is a.
No.
It goes 23, 59, 0.
No, let's count it out.
No, because
It
it
goes
starts
zero.
zero.
They say
1,
0 hours.
Exactly.
Two.
Okay.
3.
So there are 24.
4.
5, 6, 7.
seven.
Wait.
No, wait. Oh, I miss. Okay. Yeah.
8,
8,
9, 10, 11, 12,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So
Okay.
you never get to that number. Okay, 24 is a little bit controversial
Whoa.
because a lot of people put this pretty high. And again, okay, this is where I'm getting to the point where like I like this movie. I like all of these movies. It's so hard to rank them. But I'm gonna go 24, The Age of Innocence.
Wow. Okay. I'm again unfamiliar with this movie. What is the Age of Innocence? Is that like a like the romantic age, or is that a personal age?
Our time
Is it
machine
like
doesn't go that far back.
prepubescent? Which age is that? Is the movie referring to? If it's not a spoiler.
Late 1800s, right? I don't know.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. You've seen this one, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's been
it
a
was a
while
very
since I've
innocent
seen
time. I
it.
feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was when it says age, it's referring to more like the middle
The
ages
period of
than
innocence.
like your 20s.
Well, it's a kind of a movie that's about fighting against gender expectations, class expectations, just like I suppose cultural expectations in
Hate that
this
shit.
like exactly
Hell yeah.
in this time period.
Canonically, I
that
have not
analysis.
seen
I
that.
don't know. Like
Okay. Canonically.
Canonically,
what
I've
does
seen
that
none of
mean? You
these.
have seen it. Oh, but in the canon.
Canonically, I have never seen that
Well,
movie.
what do you mean
Never even heard of
canonically?
it.
I think the canon we've established is that we've seen a few.
you've seen some of
And we
them.
watched-
I've seen.
You've seen some
sorry,
of
I've
them.
seen some. I haven't seen this one. I never heard of
Okay.
this one.
You never
But
heard of this one?
He just said that you saw it.
Yeah,
like he
I
had
swear
some
you've seen
information.
I'm saying I have seen it.
Are you retconning this? Are you changing the canon?
Canonically, I have not seen it.
This
I'm
is
just.
a retcon though, because you specifically uttered the words that I have seen it.
I have. No, I'm
We
saying
can
I
play
have.
the tape,
I'm saying I have seen
but
this.
canonically,
Canonically, I have not.
so this is a retcon.
This is whatever you want to call it, but canonically, I have not seen this
Okay,
movie.
okay.
I'm sorry for Age of Innocence fans. I know it's good, and maybe I should watch it again. I've only seen it one time. I wasn't that jazzed on it, but it was good.
But now I'm just gonna I gotta earmark this. I'm just saying this. We don't have to put this in. We can just cut this, but to put together an edit of Avengers: Age of Innocence, if that has not been done,
That's really good, Tim.
we'll
say that
assemble a
again?
cut. The Avengers, the second movie,
The
Age of
Innocence.
Ultron, Age of Innocence.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
just
yeah.
mishmash some of the footage together.
Dun, 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 and it's like Daniel Day-Lewis. Dun,
Again, I haven't seen the movie. I wouldn't know what
that's
technically.
That's like the no, that's not the right theme.
That's wrong.
This will cut.
I thought that was really good.
I thought that was
material.
too, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
We gotta cut. We can't keep it all.
Yeah.
23.
It's all gold.
23.
Okay, now we're at
some
the
of it's got to wide
top of the clock.
23.
Canonically.
clock.
Yeah.
Or the bottom.
Or the bottom.
I know you guys have
No,
seen this one.
actually not, or the bottom.
No, no, it is the bottom of the clock.
I gotta
and it's the
go
bottom
It's
of the
23.
always
list.
11. Is always at the
23, I
top.
got to go with Hugo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hugo with Hugo.
Agreed.
Thoughts?
Could concur.
Seen it like about a dozen times. Never liked it once.
Really?
Never liked it.
Never
the
seen
first
it.
time, the second time, never.
Is it a Christmas movie or does it just happen at a train station?
Or does it just have Sacha Baron Cohen?
Okay, yeah.
It's just a train station. I feel like it's got winter Christmas vibe.
yeah.
Christmas
yeah,
vibe.
Christmas coded.
Like,
Because
and
I got it for Christmas.
Oh no way.
yeah.
So
maybe did it come out at Christmas?
You
I wish
got
I saw.
killed.
I didn't see it in theaters. Apparently, the 3D is wild.
he's hanging from the clock.
And it's kind of, it's cute that Scorsese wants to do this like loving homage to Méliès and film history. It feels a little disjointed, especially with the like kind of fun child running around a train station shit. I think a lot of the stuff around that is also just not very good or interesting, like the Sacha Baron Cohen stuff.
Asa Butterfield.
Asa
Is
Butterfield.
that his name?
I think so.
Hell
Asa
yeah.
Butterfield.
I think it's Asa.
Asa,
Asa
Butterfield.
Butterfield.
But you guys liked Hugo? Did you see Hugo?
Haven't seen Hugo, but I'm curious. Who do you think is the most the master out of famous directors? Who's the best at handling 3D animation? We got Spielberg with Tintin.
I think this
got
is an easy answer.
Scorsese,
it's
Hugo.
Cameron. It's James Cameron.
We got Zemeckis with the Polar Express.
It's not Zemeckis.
We got the guy who made Enter
like
the
Zemeckis,
Void
but-
Into the Void.
with the 3D cum shot.
yeah,
Yeah,
Gaspar
with the 3D
Noé.
cum
That's
shot.
not an Enter the Void.
I
That's
feel
in
like
love, but yeah.
Cameron.
I know, but they
Oh,
call
I
it-
see what you mean. Yeah.
I understand Cameron, but it feels a bit of like a cop out because there's
Right,
real
Cameron's
people in that
the
movie.
easy- yeah.
but he's innovating the technology. If we're talking about 3D
But
computer
you're saying there's real people in
animated, like real
Wait,
people
but no,
could
but
be
3D
abused, but it's all. I don't want to see one person in that movie that's real. Like there are no
In
real
Avatar?
people in. No, but I'm talking about in my question. I think like
No, but I don't go. What do you mean? There's real people in Avatar?
yeah, there's
so
real
you have
people
to
in
count-
Avatar. It
There's
don't
real people
count.
in Hugo.
There's real people in Hugo.
Yeah, it's not animated.
I thought it was all animated.
No.
That's okay.
I
don't know what
dive
Hugo
into that
is.
more. It's not animated.
It's not an
like
animated
it's just
ROM.
entirely not animated.
How's it in 3D?
What do you mean? They use 3D
Well,
cameras.
I don't agree with Tim's question. That doesn't. I don't know what. he's
Well, I
thinking,
mean,
but
okay. There's parts of it that I'm sure are like
It-
CG.
Okay.
Like it's not like it's like entirely practical sets, but like
recollection of the
there's-
trailers that there
it's
was
not
no
animated.
They do not
real
look
people
like
in
real
that.
people.
Yeah.
They don't look quite like.
are you thinking of Polar Express?
I'm not thinking of Polar Express. They look like in between
So
Polar Express.
You've seen
and
Hugo and you thought they
I
were
saw
animated?
I saw when I was a
Okay.
child.
Okay.
I will canonically.
It's not
Yeah.
animated.
We'll pull
It's
up the Hugo trailer. We'll do a
Actually, sorry.
watch.
Canonically, I have not seen it. Sorry, but I did see it when I was a child.
You can't
But I did see it when I was a child. And when I did see it,
You
it
saw
always.
when you were a child.
But canonically, I've not seen
yes,
it.
yeah,
okay,
canonically.
Ever.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Canonically, I have heard of the trailer.
And you thought it was animated, having seen it.
Yes.
What?
When I was a kid, I thought yes, or at least in my memory of it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I
an
get what you
animated
mean.
movie.
I feel like you're like melding it with other movies.
It's possible.
Possible.
Does it not look like there's a CG gloss over the whole
Yeah.
thing?
I know what you
The
mean.
train station's really wacky.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
my
I feel-
mind,
Okay, I feel like
I
you're
haven't seen
probably
the movie, but he's in a chandelier at some point
Yeah.
above the train station.
There's probably
is that accurate?
I would say there's probably a lot. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. And you can't do that.
He like
with no
lives
CGI.
above a clock in a
Oh,
train station.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
But you
I
can,
am thinking
no,
of the
but
right
you can live
movie.
above a clock without CG.
I
Why
don't
can you
see
not
how,
live
but I guess someday we get the technology.
Okay,
I haven't
I
heard
feel
that
like you're
podcast yet.
I feel like you're probably right that like there's a lot of CG to the set. Like there's probably a lot of like green
Okay,
screen with
Okay.
real live set pieces, but like
Thank
it's not an animated movie.
Now, who directed Beowulf?
Zemeckis.
Oh,
That was fully animated. It was like mocap animated.
And
yeah.
3D?
Yeah, I think it was in 3D. I didn't.
That was
I didn't see it in
animated?
theaters.
yeah, because I remember real people.
He's doing some.
All right,
Foolish
number
things,
22.
but
Number
it's a real guy.
22. I'm gonna go with The Aviator, and this is where I'm starting to get to the point where like I think all these movies are great,
Canonically, have not seen it.
but non-canonically,
I've seen it.
I think it's good.
I have not seen it, but I get the gist.
What's the gist?
Leo's in a
gist?
plane.
Leo's in a
He
plane.
look handsome as hell.
You know who
yeah.
he's playing?
The World War.
Nope. He's he's playing the
pride.
World War. He's playing Howard Hughes.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I did not know that either.
Howard,
when I
who's that?
Got into it.
Can you? Let's do that again. Let's do that take again. Howard.
Howard.
Hughes.
Howard.
He was a filmmaker and also like an
Industrialist.
industrialist.
Oh,
yeah.
so he's like the
who, like, built
James
planes.
Cameron of that time.
No, 'cause
if
he-
the sea was the sky.
I feel like film was almost like the secondary thing.
Yes,
Oh,
it was a
okay.
passion for him.
Yeah.
And flight was a passion for him. I think he build planes? Was that his?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his like,
And flew them.
and flew them.
And then he like
any
became,
relation to John Hughes.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Really?
filmmakers, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, thank you. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Noted.
And then he became like a famous like recluse. He had like
Yeah.
really extreme OCD, and this like impacted him. Like he couldn't like leave.
It was like
his,
disabling.
yeah, like he couldn't like leave his like room
That's
for
tough.
like months and months. And
To
months.
go from the sky
I know.
to a confined box. This
Sad.
movie sounds poetic.
It is honestly,
long,
yeah,
too.
it's good. And like I feel like captures. I mean, I don't know what the real man was like, but I definitely got like a very strong sense of this personality. Like, and there's a lot of really cool, stylish things. If I remember correctly, there's like something where like the color changes very dramatically based off of like the time period or something, or like the type of film they're using. There's something like
That's
that.
Good. That's accurate. As time travelers, we can attest to
Yeah,
that. Colors are wild.
And like
Yeah,
I'm not, you know, I
true.
don't care too much about like the accuracy of it, but I'm like, it just is a cool effect in the
it
movie.
is accurate.
Yeah.
The West was in sepia tone. We were surprised to find that out.
That's
Yeah.
true.
When you got
when
there,
he's
yeah.
flying, does he ever go, I'm flying here?
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
flying here
Yeah.
when there's another plane.
So you guys like The Aviator?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Canonically.
Canonically.
I got to hear your
Never
list
heard
at
of
the
it.
end. At least your top 5. So
Oh,
keep this in
yeah.
mind.
Sure.
as we go
Yeah.
Whatever the 5 you just
Jay-Z.
said.
Go on.
That's
Chris Rock.
Okay.
uh,
Asa Butterfield.
Asa Butterfield.
Okay, 21. Mean Streets. Where some people say it all started.
Mm-hmm.
The Mean Streets.
They were
I-
mean.
I-
We saw it.
Yeah, not canonically.
Not nice.
It's another one of those, like, he went on to make things that are similar but better. And so, like, ranking it in the sphere of, like, I'm looking at all of Scorsese's movies, it's like, it's not one of the higher ones, but it's pretty great. Like, the friendship between the two main guys is, like, very interestingly explored.
It's hard to capture how mean they were
Mm.
because you had people who would like, bump in the
Yeah.
and I assume that's what the movie's all about.
Yeah, it's about people
absolutely.
being bumped into.
Sort of
Yeah.
Well,
being rude.
I think the mean street is a great microcosm for the world because mean is the average of all streets. So this is, your basic street.
Yeah, I like the sequel, The Median Streets.
Yes,
That was a very,
I did-
very
which is still a different kind of average.
He
But
he was actually
he got it in a different way.
considering the
Yeah.
title Average Avenues.
Yes. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
It was
okay.
either Average Avenues
Yeah, it doesn't have the same
or
ring.
Mean
to it.
No.
Streets
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Rudimentary Roads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
a basic boulevard?
20.
20.
We're into the terrible 20s.
Oh, we're at
hell
double
yeah.
digits.
Let's
Yep,
go.
we made it. I'm gonna go with Bringing Out the Dead.
Bringing up that Nick
Wow.
Cage,
Nicolas Cage. Yep.
Okay.
They finally
Nicky boy.
connected.
Let's
Finally,
go.
it took them, what,
Nick and
30,
Marty.
40, 50 years.
Yep. Nick's really good in it.
As a Coppola. He's a Coppola too, and so...
Oh yeah.
That's
We know
true.
a couple of them.
Have you guys seen this one?
No.
It's about
Canonically, never.
Nick Cage plays he works in an ambulance. What's it called?
Oh shit.
Paramedic.
Paramedic. Yes, that's the word I was
And
looking
he's
for.
bringing out the dead.
He brings them back to life.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's sort of a mystic, it's sort of magic.
Yeah.
Is that a real plot?
Yeah, yeah.
It's magic.
No, it's not
Oh,
magic.
But I'm
it's
just
actually
saying
like very
paramedics
much.
sort of are magicians.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, back in our time, that would be considered necromancy.
That'd be witchcraft.
yeah, in the
be killed
It's very
1970s.
much like the opposite of magic, I would say, in this movie. Also, like, I mean, a lot of Marty's movies are very like grounded, gritty, street level, but this one especially feels just like brutal in a way that, like, a lot of them. There's like part of what makes the movies interesting is the sort of dichotomy of like, this is fun and you're getting swept up in all the like excitement of it all, and you don't realize how like brutal and gritty this all actually is until you kind of sit back and either the movie has this like sobering reflection on it, or like you as an audience member are meant to be like, oh wait, why was that so fun? That's not really actually good at all. But I feel like this movie, it sort of strips away any of the fun, which not like that's intentional, like to its credit. It's not one of my favorite Martys, but like I respect it for that. It's very brutal, very stylish.
Is it up there for a Nick Cage for you?
It's not like in my, no, I wouldn't say it's in my top Cages, but it's really good. Like I said, at this point, I'm like, these are all pretty great movies. It's not one of my favorite Martys, but I like it a lot.
What you're saying, we can also cut this because this is just a genuine thought. But
No, please.
Well, we cannot have you be genuine in this. We got a mixer.
I watched City of God
Yeah.
last night, and
Yeah.
what you're saying rings very real to what I experienced there, where it's like stylish and fun,
Yeah.
but also very grim and brutal and ugly.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
You remember
that
when the
movie.
kid is like fucking killing all the people in the motel?
Yeah.
And he's just having so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
So fucked up. But
Yeah,
then also they
absolutely.
play like fun music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, truly. I mean, but that's what.
Very, I think, inspired by everything you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to some of the ones that do this really well, but yeah, I feel like that's what works in a lot of the best Marty movies, and also what makes them, I think, like misunderstood by a lot of people. Where it's like, is it just purely like endorsing this thing, and like if it's not slapping down a sort of like judgment? And I certainly don't think that. Like, I think that a lot of those movies are, as we'll get to, super interesting because they're forcing the viewer to confront it on like their own terms. Like
Absolutely.
something like Wolf of Wall Street, which like we'll get to. It's like
Mhm.
that movie ends with we are the audience watching this
Yes.
thing and being like, wait a second, like it's meant to be like confronting. It's meant to make you be like, wait, why have I enjoyed this?
Yeah.
That's not actually good at all. Why do we idolize these people?
It's interesting. I think that, but the counterpoint. We'll talk about Wolf of Wall Street later. But like, I wonder how much it actually worked.
Mm.
I wonder what percentage of people actually felt that way
Yeah.
and weren't just by the end swept up and just like, I love this guy.
But
And
that might not ultimately be the director's fault.
Not as yeah, no. I that's why I think it's an
Yeah. I think, Marty has such a good eye for directing because his eye literally has barn doors on it. You know what I mean? Like on a camera. So he just, he's got a great understanding of composition from birth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need to wear a baseball cap.
Yeah.
Because the shade's already there.
Absolutely.
But anyway, my point was just that I think Bringing Out the Dead is very interesting because, yeah, it doesn't have that, like, fun at all. And the other one I feel that about, we'll come to in a little bit. Maybe I'll save my thoughts on that.
Okay.
19, another one some people rank really high. And again, I want to say, as I've said every time, these are all really good.
Hey, you're gonna upset some people.
I'm gonna upset some people.
Yeah.
And
No, yeah.
I don't care.
And I might be one of them.
hmm That's my plan.
Okay.
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Whoa,
Yeah.
ew.
Yeah.
That's a Lord and Savior you're talking about.
You're insulting a Lord.
I'm not ranking Christ at
Okay.
19.
It
Okay,
sounds like
good.
Christ himself.
He
I'm
should be
putting-
top 3
I'll
up
put
there with the
pretty
Holy
high.
Ghost and the Father.
That's right.
Okay, as far as I'm concerned.
I think this movie's great. I also think like those last 40 minutes. Have you seen it? I
No.
won't spoil it.
Canonically, no.
I won't spoil it, but
does something different happen than the Bible story? Because I
yes.
think
Yes.
I know the plot.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Especially
Yes.
the
A
end. There's
twist?
a really crazy thing that happens.
Okay.
That
Very
like
interesting storytelling device. Canonically, I don't know what it is. But
Okay. I wish you did.
a lot of the movie is like kind of stripping down the like mythology of Christ to become like a human story of like who this man is, to the point where it's even like they have like Queen's accents
Oh, wow.
and they're just kind of
I could get behind that.
yeah.
Now, how many?
Or with Queen's accents, I don't know. Are they Brooklyn accents? I don't remember.
Brooklyn,
I don't know,
Queens,
whatever.
there's no
Well, you guys are
difference.
from New York, right?
It might be even Long Island. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
they're all the
remember.
same.
Yup. Yeah, I mean, you could. His accent is you've heard it evolve. You know what I mean? That's the thing is,
But that's the-
we took
that's
the
the
bus.
New York
We
experience.
took you take public transit, so you move from neighborhood
Right,
to
yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah.
So your accent moves with the neighborhood.
True.
Well, and what I thought you were going to say was you're on a bus. There's all these different accents. Where you travel on the bus itself, you're going to
Yes,
start talking
that's,
different.
That is what I was inferring. Like I think
Oh,
you
I
didn't
see.
hear me. Maybe I didn't communicate the idea strong enough.
No, you did not.
But I mean, it seemed quite clear in my
I
head,
understood.
I
but
thought you were
that was 'cause
saying
my
you take a
skull-
bus from Brooklyn. You're going to talk like Brooklyn. The bus is going to take you to Staten
Right,
Island.
you're gonna start
and then
talking
you're
like
going to
you're from
talk like
Staten
Staten Island.
Island.
But I'm saying if there's a Staten Islander on that bus, I'm talking more Staten Island, like the way I'm talking
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
so I'm getting the same thing. Well, I guess I guess where we differ is where the geography comes from. Whether it's from, I guess physically having someone on the accent, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
I agree. I agree.
I
kinda,
I'm saying
yeah.
the melting pot exists in the bus itself.
Yes, and I can cool.
Hey, we
I've
can.
only-
But my idea is that when you go,
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Is
super.
it kind of like that? Like, hey, Jesus.
hey Jesus,
Hey, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Get down
crucified
from there. Get down from there.
Hey, how many Christ movies does Marty have?
I think like 11.
Okay.
11 to 12.
Just one that's directly
What?
a Christ.
Okay.
Like I
But
mean,
a
he has
lot of God movies.
there's a lot, yeah, and I would say a lot of his movies are like there's a like exploring spirituality and exploring one's like relationship to
He's a Catholic.
yeah
Ooh.
to religion,
Catholic.
He's an Italian Catholic.
Damn.
yeah, to spirituality, and yeah, this is the most like direct one. There's a lot in there that I think if you are a very religiously minded person, you're probably getting so much out of that I'm like completely missing because I don't really know much about Catholicism. And especially like that first 2/3 of the movie feels like, yeah, it's exploring like Christ as this like mythic figure, but really exploring like the idea of Christ. And then the last third is this very like humanistic turn. And I became more engaged during that point, but like, I don't know. I like the other stuff a lot. And like, I think I would be curious to see it again, knowing where it goes. I don't know. I like it. It's good. It's good.
Are there any Timothys in the Bible?
Yeah.
Nice. Because I know there's an Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I
a
know
Luke.
there's a Luke.
Yes.
Who's Timothy in the Bible?
Who's Timothy in the Bible?
He writes messages to Paul or one of the disciples, and I think the name means God's messenger.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Timothy in the Bible's real chill.
Okay.
Who's the
nice.
He's pretty
meanest guy in
popular.
the Bible? Just
Well,
the meanest,
Judas.
other than Judas.
Well, Satan.
Satan's in the Bible?
Yeah.
worst.
Really?
Yup.
Like he's a character?
You think he gets his own book? What do you mean he's a
No, but I thought
What
he
do you
was
mean?
like,
Why would he be a character?
Well, I assume
he's
Satan
so
was-
important to the mythos.
I assume Satan was like they like maybe talk about him in like abstract terms, but like he's actually in the Bible,
and he's
like he
plotting
talks in the
against you.
Bible.
Yep.
He corrupts Judas. Does he?
He talks
I have
to
to
Jesus.
imagine-
He talks to Jesus for sure. I don't know if the corruption of Judas is quite explicit.
Okay.
Like Judas is like having a vision. I think maybe that's
Or Satan has his kids, like a knife up to his kids.
yeah, no, but that could have happened off the page,
Off screen.
Like, you can infer that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But actually, maybe because Judas, I'm pretty sure he goes to hell in one of the versions.
Oh.
Like he gets hung on a cliff or
Like in-
something, and he jumps off, and then he goes to hell. But anyway,
I thought he
poor guy.
hangs himself from a tree.
yes, a tree,
Yeah.
a tree. But I think there's a cliff involved.
Yeah.
It could have been on a cliff.
It could be on a cliff.
Oh
it could
yeah,
be
the
near a
trees
cliff.
on the cliff.
No one said that trees can't grow on cliffs.
No one said that.
18 got to go with Cape Fear.
Oh, okay.
Cape Fear.
Yes.
Smarty's remake, Cape Fear.
Classic.
I think Bobby D is so good in this. He's so scary. It's
So
like Marty
ripped.
like going full like pulpy. He doesn't go
Very
full
De
pulpy.
Palma.
Yeah, it is very
I like
De
my
Palma,
Marty
yeah.
extra pulp.
Yeah, and it's not quite a De Palma, like it's not quite on the level of like a De Palma
Not De Palma.
masterpiece for me, but like it's cool to see him go in that just like really dirty zone. Just being a dirty boy on this one.
Oh yeah.
I really like it. You guys see Cape Fear?
No.
Canonically,
Cape
no.
Fear? Okay. 17.
Have you actually seen it? Like when
Yeah,
you were
I've seen it. Of
younger?
course I've seen it.
Okay. I have not.
Not
seen
when I
it.
was younger. I saw it recently.
Oh really?
But canonically, I've not.
Okay.
Yeah, never.
Canonically, why haven't you?
Canonically, I kind of have better shit to do.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Like,
But
You don't have
in
time for
reality,
movies.
You
Yeah.
no. Sorry?
In reality, you.
In reality, I like to fill sort of the silence with just anything.
Right.
Hmm.
Nice.
But canonically, I'm chill.
Okay. 17.
17. That's my favorite number
Yep.
Is that right, eh?
because it's your birthday, which is on the 15th, plus the second digit of my birthday, which is the 12th, together. That's why.
That's so beautiful. Minus Tim's birthday.
From what equation? How does that work? But what?
Minus Tim's birthday?
Yeah.
Yours is Tim's birthday?
No. I'm saying
Mine is?
17 is my birthday,
Plus the second digit
plus the
of
second
my...
digit of Luke's birthday, minus Tim's birthday,
Which?
which is the 4th,
What?
plus the,
Math has not been
plus
taught well
the amount, plus
in modern times.
the amount of us,
3.
right?
Okay.
Plus the amount of plus the number one movie on this list, 1. So that's why it's your favorite.
The number
Whoa,
one.
Okay, all right. Flawless math. I was going down PEMDAS, BEDMAS. You hit them in order.
Okay, I gotta go with Casino.
Oh, Casino.
Good one, super fun, super solid.
It's an 8.
Don Rickles.
It's always felt a little
A legend.
like, and this isn't really fair, but I just feel like it has a similar vibe to me as Goodfellas. Similar cast, scale, subject matter ish, and came out pretty close. That like when I was younger, I just always kind of thought of it as like Goodfellas B-sides. And I just has never been able to shake that, even though it's really good. I don't know. I mean, that's a horrible
Doesn't
critique.
feel like it's its own...
I guess so. Or just like it doesn't feel like essential Marty in the same way to me. But like, I don't know. It's great. It's great. What do you like? I don't know. You guys like Casino? You guys like going to casinos?
Canonically, I've never been to
Wow.
one. They scare me
Mm-hmm.
because I know I will not leave,
Okay.
Yeah.
probably.
And in reality?
And in reality, I have never been to one because I'm just not that interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of the few times where canon, in fact, almost line up.
But I feel like it's still important to separate them.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Canonically, never seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie,
Great.
but I've seen
16.
other movies that take place in a casino.
What's your
True.
favorite casino movie?
Ocean's
21.
11. Oh wow.
21.
Yeah. Kevin
Twin
Spacey.
Peaks: The Return.
Okay.
There's some casino action.
There is
in
some
it.
casino action.
Yes.
Yeah. But is that a movie?
The oceans are
Is that a
great.
movie?
I would say that's not a movie.
Yeah.
But I
Some
would
people
say
really,
that-
some
yeah.
people really love
think-
to argue that it's a movie. Number 17. Sorry, 16.
16.
I know we got a lot to go. Jesus. Well, speaking of Jesus, number 16, Silence.
Is it just silence or the silence?
It's called Silence, and these are my thoughts on the movie. Okay, you guys talk for a second. I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Okay, silence.
Yeah.
Canonically, you've seen it?
I have not seen it, but I did watch a video essay about it.
And what'd you learn?
Andrew Garfield's in it,
Mm-hmm. Was that the title?
and then I
Is
think
that
it's in Japan.
It is Japan. It's Jesuits, I believe.
Have you seen it?
Portuguese. I have seen it canonically. Never heard of it. They are Portuguese. They go to Japan, and
There's a cliff in that movie too, right?
I think there's a few.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a movie. It reminds me in a lot of ways of there's this movie called Godland. It
Okay.
takes place in Iceland.
Okay.
These Danish people back in the day, they're going to Iceland trying to build a church. It's that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's like
Building the church.
did you
somewhere.
actually Shogun? Shogun would be the thing that is most connected with.
Really? Because I feel like Shogun to me seems like it's got some action, some drama.
Yes.
Prestige is Silence. Does that have that, or is
It
it
has
more
drama.
like a meditation on faith?
I would say it's a meditation partially on faith from what I remember, but also I think on religious expansionism. Maybe thinking about those two together, like how much of this is about your own faith versus a need to just spread this in sort of a colonial fashion.
Yeah.
Are the things that are driving you to this place to convert these people pure? Is that coming from a pure place? I feel like that's my guess. To be honest, it's been so long, and I don't think I got too much. Like, I don't remember it very well. I would like to see it again.
All right, number 15.
Hell yeah.
The one for which he finally won Best Picture. The Departed.
Let's go.
I feel like it's become a little underrated because it's like the one he won Best Picture for, and it's obviously not one of his best. But so I think people kind of, be like, oh, that one sucks, and it was just appreciated by the masses because it
made so much money.
Yeah.
It made too much money.
And it got accolades.
Yeah. But I think it's good. Okay, this one. Sorry. I love musicals.
Oh yeah.
My favorite genre. This one's not fully a musical, but it's music.
Cool.
New York, which I know a lot of people have pretty low on the Marty.
Now, how many movies about New York has he made?
Oh,
Jesus
so many.
Christ.
I just think Bobby D's performance in this is so good. It's a little like Mo Better Blues. You guys see Mo Better Blues?
No.
So like a musician trying to make it.
It's tough.
Things are difficult.
Oh yeah.
In New York also.
Whoa.
With a great performance. And
Is this Mo Better Blues or is this?
Oh, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we gotten into the great territory yet?
Yeah. I would say the
Oh.
great territory starts at like Aviator, honestly.
Oh.
Like I think these are all great.
Well, when we reach amazing territory.
Yeah. Is there another?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're getting there soon.
You let us know because
I
I'm
would
a
say
little
this is the-
disappointed, to be honest, that I had to ask, and that it turns out we missed that line by many movies.
I thought I said that.
I'm
did
pretty
not.
sure he did say that or something specifically of the line. But in my mind, I do think you used the phrase great specifically. You might have said good. It could have been good.
I would say,
I
like-
just feel like it really needed like a real.
Okay. I would say
A
Box
benchmark.
Yeah.
I would say Boxcar Bertha and Who's That Knocking at My Door are like meh.
Yeah.
Age of Innocence, Hugo, good. And then Aviator, Mean Streets, Bringing Out the Dead, The Last Temptation of Christ, Cape Fear, Casino, Silence, The Departed, New York, New York, great.
Okay.
Love it.
And now we're entering into a new tier
Oh.
that I would say are amazing.
Whoa.
My main thing about New York, New York is like, and this is my critique about basically every movie.
Every movie.
Every movie
Okay.
Is that it sucks.
should be even more. Yeah. Should be even more of a musical.
Okay.
What are we holding back for?
Interesting. So the rest of the movies we're about to come to are more musical.
No,
Oh.
but I would say that's still my critique of them. They're
You're
all
waiting for
good.
them.
They're all amazing, even.
But they're not
But
musical
imagine
enough.
if they were musicals, they'd be maybe the best movie ever.
Interesting.
Each would have had the potential to be.
Interesting.
But number 13. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
And I'm curious to share.
Raging Bull.
Yes. Oh, I love the movie. Great movie. You know,
I'm Walking Here, very famous line from that movie.
Is that what I thought? I'm Walking Here was from Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm Walking Here. Remember, he's on his way to box.
Oh, I guess maybe he is. He does
he
slap
say
on
that?
a car roof.
Okay, yeah.
Perhaps.
I
it
believe
happens
you.
like 5 times in that movie.
Really? 'Cause I don't. Is that not a line not from?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I want to say Midnight Cowboy. I haven't seen it, and I feel like I've only seen that clip. But him specifically slamming his hand on a car.
You're probably
roof
right. I mean, it's
sounds
probably in
familiar as
multiple
hell.
movies. I feel like I'm Walking Here is also a thing people say.
Say.
That's probably where it
But
came
it's,
from.
it's
for the
very
movie.
famous
Yeah,
from
sure.
Raging Bull because they did it like
10 times?
8
Yeah.
times.
No, I think
Okay.
the one from Raging Bull is you talking to me?
Oh, yeah.
You're walking with me.
Are you walking? Are
You
you
walking with me?
Am I walking?
Are you talking?
Where
and
am I
walking with me?
walking?
Are you walking and talking with me?
Are we doing a walk and talk?
Are we walking here?
Where are we walking and talking? Because I need to
Because
know.
I'm walking here.
Because I need to know if I'm going to be walking, where I'm going to be talking.
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sort of like when I used to do acting classes canonically. We used to do that scene over and over.
scene
and
study.
over
So
Yeah.
much,
and
so
over.
much to chew on there.
Absolutely.
Raging Bull, I feel, is similar to me. It's the one I was gonna talk about when I was talking about Bringing Out the Dead, where like that's another movie that is just so brutal and doesn't really have the
It holds no
fun
punches.
to like offset it,
Oh,
but in a way that's very effective. Like I mean, it's a movie that's more about like domestic abuse than boxing obviously is tied into that in the movie. It's not one of my ultimate favorite Scorsese's, but
Fair
like
enough, fair
it's
enough.
fantastic.
Are you offended by that? That's not his all-time favorite?
no. I'm just curious more than anything. He doesn't need to like my personal favorites, but I just want to know what makes his brain tick and how to stop it.
You want to stop my brain from
Yup.
ticking?
We're
Okay.
gonna use this information against you ultimately.
So that's the first half. Well, I guess the bottom half
The bottom half.
of the Scorsese, but they're all great.
What do you think my favorite Scorsese movie is?
Yeah, based on outfit alone.
You know,
He's
I'm gonna-
cosplaying as someone very specific.
you're from Shutter Island, right?
Yeah,
That's
wow,
right.
dead
I'm
on.
one of the freaks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, sniped it. It was the chain that gave it away.
Yeah.
All right, 12.
Woo!
Woo!
Gotta go with After Hours.
Yeah.
Gotta go with After
There's
Hours.
only 12 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, another like I mean these are like now we're getting into the realm of like I mean these are just considered some of the best movies ever made. What is there to say? It's the ultimate like one crazy night movie.
Yup.
A part of me watching it is always kind of like I feel like I wish this sort of amounts to more in a way, but it's also like that's the beauty of it that he just sort of is like plucked back into his boring ass life at the end and like nothing really like I don't know, nothing really comes of this like one crazy night.
You know, canonically, I've not seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but of course I have seen it,
Mhm.
and I agree. I feel like I love it as well. I think I might be higher for me if
Sure.
I were to list them all out, but I do agree that there's something not as sticky
Mm-hmm.
in it that some of his other movies have. It's not necessarily like it's not trying to necessarily have you be asking many questions
Yeah,
necessarily.
but I kind of like that also. That it's like it's
yeah.
a bit of a slighter one.
Totally.
in the
and
midst of
I
it,
still
yeah.
think there's a lot going on.
Totally.
I think it might be my personal favorite Scorsese.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's really good.
But I have not put any thought into it. So
Fair enough.
Why do you like it so much?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, I think I watched it at a young age in high school, and one of my favorite movies at that point, and I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I think I laughed. I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I came to it after watching a lot of other Scorsese's, and maybe if I had seen it earlier, it would have been up there for me. But I mean, I love it. Like I got no beef with it.
I feel like it's very
At this
also
po-
of the time, you know. That
Yeah.
reminds me back of New York at that
Oh,
time.
oh,
it was
don't
like,
even get me started.
do not leave me in Soho
Yeah.
at
11 p.m.
11 p.m. because I am not getting home. There's no way it's happening.
The thing was, Scorsese is one of those filmmakers where I'm like, if you say any of his movies are your favorite, I'm like, that's.
Bingo.
I mean, I don't really care about like you can
Box
say
Cop
anything. You can
Eartha.
say box. That doesn't really matter to me about any
Bingo.
director. But I'm just like, they're all pretty great, and you could make an argument for any of those being the best one. So
Hugo is the best
Yeah.
Scorsese movie.
And
Sure.
even for being the best movie of all time.
Yep.
well, I guess you could make the case you could argue any movie is the best movie of all time,
Absolutely,
and I
yeah.
challenge you
Yeah.
to argue that Horrible Bosses 2 is the best movie.
Okay,
of
well,
all time.
I mean, that's easy. I thought you were going
Yeah.
to give me a challenge. Obviously, we have some of the greatest comedic actors of our time. We have Charlie
Huge
Day,
collaboration.
Jason Bateman,
Yes.
and
the other guy.
and the other guy, who his name escapes me, but his face does not.
Yeah.
I can picture it.
We know what it looks like.
You know?
2 eyes, 1 mouth, and a nose.
And then you got the bosses.
Yeah,
You don't
don't
even
even
men- you
start-
don't
Oh, I
mention
know
the
Jennifer
bosses.
Aniston.
Yes.
I
Oh,
mean,
they're
an
horrible.
absolute legend. She's horrible in the
Yeah.
movie.
And the first one is already good.
Yeah. So a sequel.
It's gonna be better. Okay.
Okay, next.
11. Alice doesn't live here anymore.
Nope, she does
Whoa.
not. She's
Just
gone.
another.
Is she dead?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
That's got a beautiful romance, and then a crushing, like when it doesn't work out.
No.
When it feels like a beautiful romance, but maybe it's not so beautiful.
But also, isn't that true to romance?
Mm.
That the things that are the most beautiful are the most upsetting once they come to an end.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think Alice just trying to live her life, live out her dreams is so affecting, emotionally affecting.
Mhm.
It's such a sensitive movie.
I'm welling up just hearing you talk about it right now.
Have you guys seen that? I feel like that's that's definitely an underappreciated one.
I thought Woody Allen made it.
Really?
Not exactly, but I
Not canonically.
not gonna.
Not canonically.
It just feels
Yeah,
like
it doesn't feel like a classic Marty.
no,
for
not
sure.
at all. And I think, yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it. It feels New York, but it feels like a rom-com sort of.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Never
Never
seen
will
it.
hear of it.
Now we're entering into the top 10.
We're still in amazing territory.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there another tier we're gonna hit? I guess
past amazing,
top 4,
spectacular,
Okay.
Yeah.
phenomenal,
Amazing Square.
amazing squared, the
Killers
best.
Killers of the Flower Moon, number 10. His
Oh.
most recent one.
Let's go.
Yeah, fantastic movie. Another movie that, like, in its last act, or honestly, even like last 10 minutes, not to spoil it,
Very interesting.
just does something so wild and interesting that frames the whole movie in a very fascinating light.
Would
And-
your score be different if that 10 minutes?
No, I mean the whole thing is fantastic, but that's definitely the part that like feels I don't know, it's
the
most
bow that
yeah,
ties
yeah,
it
I don't
all
know.
together. Did you see it?
No.
Really? Did you see it canonically
Yes.
or non-canon? Which one?
Both.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I mean, I probably told you both about this. I had a very interesting theater experience. You know, back in the day, people in the theater were a lot less rude, even in New York. Back in the day. But I was there, and there was a guy sort of slamming a chair back and forth about 2 hours into the movie.
Oh.
I don't know if he had some
Repeatedly?
Sort of, yes. I don't know if
Okay.
he had some sort of
The chair he was on or a separate chair?
a chair in front of him.
So okay.
So it's a
and was there any?
It's a recliner.
Was there a person in that chair?
There was no person.
Okay,
it was just a
okay.
loose chair that he'd pull back like a spring, like a slingshot,
Yeah.
and let it go. And then he'd
Okay.
do it again.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
is 2 hours into a 3.5 hour movie,
And is
something
he
like that.
keeping this up consistently?
So he does it about 3 times before the other 10 people in the theater were looking at each other like,
Yeah.
what are we going to do about this clown?
yeah,
And
we outnumber him.
but he also has this sort of like look about him.
We're like,
I'm
oh.
like, I'm not excited.
Don't wanna
to have to.
engage.
Yeah, no, not at
Yeah.
all. And also, it's not a movie that you want to turn away from.
Oh,
Exactly. You know,
absolutely.
I'm trying to follow
Yeah.
the story. Like,
Mhm.
and so anyway, it sort of gets dealt with, but
Sounds like he was a real killer of the flower mood.
Number 9. I'm gonna go with.
Killer of the flower.
that was very good.
No, that was
And that's
really.
exactly.
And we had, there was nothing to say after that. It was
Yeah.
too good. Number 9, Gangs of New York. Thoughts?
with Daniel Day.
Well, another
Daniel
movie with
Day.
New York in the title.
Mhm.
Titular New York.
Mhm. All right, number 8. You gotta go with The Irishman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
gotta
waiting
go.
for
You
this.
gotta.
You gotta go
Yeah.
with The Irishman.
It's a long one.
We watched it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
Paradise
yeah.
Theater, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a bar in front of the screen.
Absolutely. It was a
How-
great time.
Like right in front. Like,
Yeah.
Dead center.
So you missed what was happening.
No, it felt like all the characters were wearing one big belt. And that's what I liked about it.
What I felt was like we were watching split screen.
Oh, yeah.
two movies.
Well, you get
Oh,
2
yeah.
movies
And
for the
we're
price of one.
Weirdly similar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-screen experience.
Yeah.
You're getting like an installation.
And if I'm bored at
Yeah.
the top, I can look at the
Yeah,
bottom.
hey,
Yeah.
don't screen watch. I'm watching the feet. I'm watching the toes.
Yeah, I love how like stupid Bobby De Niro's character is in that. And just like the like stupid henchman who sort of like tied his life to this thing. And what else does he have? And whatever, all
Remember
that
that
stuff.
opening scene? Well, he's in the old folks' home.
Oh yeah.
He's just so like such a gray old man.
Yeah.
And the Irishman feels like, okay, if you did somehow come away from like Goodfellas thinking like these guys are cool and this is the life I want to live.
Yeah.
It's like Irishman is like a nice kind of counter
Yeah.
thesis to that, where you
Addendum.
watch that and you're like, this life would be horrible.
Yeah.
And like all this guy can do now is like look back on this period of his life that was like to him, I guess, the exciting like glory times, but it's like this sucked. Like all this
Yeah.
was horrible. You're just this like loser who has like no friends or family, and like what was it all for? Like you got nothing out of this.
Yeah, I feel like, I think The Irishman is special because it's the only other movie in Robert De Niro's catalog that could be titled Dirty Grandpa. Other than the movie he was in, Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
But this one you
Yes.
could also title Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, you
That's
could.
true.
Because at the end of the movie, he's and the beginning, he's a very dirty grandpa.
Yeah, because I remember that opening scene very well. He's like an old dirty gray man, and then they say it's time to wipe your
Time
ass.
to wipe up.
Mhm.
And he goes, no, please don't.
I used to paint porcelain bowls brown.
Porcelain bowls brown. Please don't. And she goes, get the fuck over.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
7.
haunting.
7. I gotta go Kundun.
I thought you were gonna go 7.
Well,
it
he
says
didn't
in
direct
the
7.
Oh, shit.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Is 7 just answer me quick, yes or no? Don't think about it. Is 7 your 7th favorite David Fincher movie?
No.
Okay.
All right. Look.
I would say it's 4th.
I didn't actually ask for that. I just said yes or no. Let's move on.
I know you didn't ask for that, but I can say other things.
Okay.
can't.
I can say
didn't
things
ask
that you
for it.
didn't ask for.
Let's get really tense in here, guys. If we could all just take a
Okay,
moment,
fine.
take a beat.
Kundun. Have you guys seen that? I feel
No.
like kind of his least
Haven't even heard of it.
movie.
Yes, canonically, never seen it. I've never seen it. I've been meaning to.
It's about the Dalai Lama being exiled out of Tibet
Whoa.
by Chinese forces.
When
with
did he
Tibet.
make this?
Is it our current Dalai Lama?
Yeah,
It's our Dalai Lama?
yeah.
When he was a
Because
kid.
it was when he was a kid.
Okay.
Of his like one of his core themes is, as we were talking about, is like
New
a
York.
devotion. New York, yeah, this is a very New York movie. A devotion to faith and a devotion to like
It's sort of like a Coming to America, but the Dalai Lama when he was a kid. Is that the movie?
no
Oh,
no
Okay.
a devotion to like oneself and one's purpose and one's faith in the midst of crisis. And like this is obviously like a very direct interpretation of that theme. I mean, it's a real story, but a direct like exploration of that theme, I guess. And kind of the like the most affecting one, I would say. I think it's really a fantastic movie that like doesn't deserve to be seen as like the most forgotten
yeah.
Scorsese. Like I think it's pretty fantastic, actually. I feel like okay, 6 and 5 are ones that I often see people rank low on Scorsese rankings,
Interesting.
but that I think are really good. But then again, they're all really good. Number 6, The Color of Money. His sequel to The Hustler. One that I think a lot of people, like a lot of people accuse that of being the one that like you can't really see Scorsese in as much. It's a little bit of like a for hire job and feels like him just kind of making this like
Not an auteur.
I could see that point, but it's also just the best version of that kind of thing. You know, like it's so fun. I love just the thematic of like the old grizzled vet and the new upstart young guy and their sort of respective relationships to the sport and how those come in clash with each other and ultimately like kind of shape each other's relationships to it. And like, are you playing for the love of the game, or are you playing just and like to be the champion to achieve what you are capable of achieving, or are you playing just for money, for success, whatever? I think those are all like just stuff that I'm personally very interested in, and like maybe isn't as rich and dense and thought-provoking as a lot of Scorsese's work, but I think is like very fascinatingly explored by these two contrasting characters. And
Well, I did have one question about The Color of Money
yeah,
because I hadn't
Oh,
seen
I do
it
too.
what color is
or
it?
watched it. No. I'm generally like, what sport is it about?
Pool.
Pool?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I would say billiards.
Okay, that's
I would
so
say
sick.
pool.
I would say billiards.
I would not have guessed.
I would say billiards.
I know you would.
I would say billiards because they're not swimming.
Oh.
He got your ass. He got your ass.
Okay, number 5, Shutter Island. I
Top 5, we
love
made
Shutter
it.
Island.
Yes.
I love Shutter Island.
Are
And
we in a new bracket or are we still in
No,
amazing?
not yet.
Okay. I remember I hadn't seen it until recently.
Yeah.
And
What?
I remember sorry.
Rewatched
I hadn't
it.
seen it until recently. But my impression was that it was like a shit movie. Like everyone was like, this is Scorsese's shit.
Yeah.
This is his like trash movie. And then I saw it and I was like, this is really good. Mark Ruffalo as like a, he's a perfect like
Odd.
hallucination kind of.
Yeah.
He's the hallucination, right? Like he's the
Yeah.
cop who
Well,
doesn't exist.
Or
I thought
does,
is he
or
a
does
doctor?
It's the only other one that's
Kinda
in that like
Departed.
pulpy.
I would. Well,
Oh,
I
Boston,
yeah,
see what you
Boston
mean, actually.
coded,
Boston.
right? Aren't they
Yeah.
cops from Boston? They're like
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know.
Yeah, Shutter Island.
Harvard Yard.
It recalls back to, I feel like there's a lot of those B movies from like the 50s and 60s where there's a lot more going on thematically than you might, I guess, want to engage with or like engage with on like first blush, because they sort of have the just look and feel of like something that's so like trashy.
Yeah.
But because it like introduces it in this like trashy veneer, for me, that's often like how, I'm engaging in like a more interesting way because I'm sort of like brought in like a friendly, whatever, versus like watching some stuffy drama that's trying to be all serious and weighted and heavy with its like rich themes. Get out of here with that.
Get the fuck out of here.
You ain't welcome here.
Get that shit.
I'm watching here.
I'm watching here.
Give me some heightened genre shit.
Yeah, Ingmar Bergman.
I'm watching Cape Fear.
I'm watching Cape Fear.
Okay, this is where I would say we get these top 4. Yes, I would say
Masterpiece.
it's a lit. If you're following along your lists, this top 4, it's a little boring. It's a little like, of course, these are routinely considered
think of
the best
3.
ones.
I'm trying to think of.
what they are.
Well, I know 3. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last 4. I can think of 3.
And like, for good reason, because I think they're just perfect movies.
Okay.
So, number 4 is The King of Comedy.
He's so funny.
Yo.
Is he?
I mean, that's the big question.
Well, that's what I
feel
sort
like
of.
the
But
movie
that's
is
what I sort of
is.
like at the end. I'm like, the jokes, they're not horrible. They're
Like
also
when he actually does his routine.
like when he actually does his routine.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's totally fine.
It's a
Yeah.
fun twist.
And I think that's what's great about it. It's like it would be so easy to make that movie and like he's horrible, or you make that movie, he kills. But it's the most interesting thing that he's just fine. And like if he actually were to put in the time and the effort rather than just trying to take this shortcut by criminal means, it's like maybe he could refine his act and he'd be good. Like you never know.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like it's never been more relevant because
Yeah, true.
nowadays a lot of comedians are
Just
getting
jump
big
to TikTok and then
True.
well, for horrible acts. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
true.
And that gets their notoriety.
Yeah.
It's probably better to commit a crime.
Was that one of the 3 you were thinking
that
of?
was one of the 3.
Okay.
Oh, I actually remember the 4th. It's Moneyball.
No, I did not do Moneyball, but I do love Moneyball. It would be
Wait,
up there.
Scorsese directed Moneyball?
No.
Who directed Moneyball?
Just some
Bennett
guy.
Miller.
Bennett Bloor?
Bennett Miller.
Bennett Miller?
Yeah.
Guy no one's ever heard
That
of.
is
and never
just
ever
so
will hear.
Really?
right.
He directed Foxcatcher, Capote.
Doesn't matter.
The
Doesn't
hell?
matter.
This name's Bennett Miller.
I don't really like his other movies,
He's got
but I
two
love.
last
I think
names for a
Moneyball's
first
incredible.
name and a last name.
Some people have 2 first names.
Yeah,
Most people have at least 1 first name.
absolutely.
A lot of people have a last name.
And
Two
most
last
people have
names?
2 last
Freak.
names. Yeah, that's crazy.
You have 2 first names.
Yeah,
Yeah. You have 3 first names,
I
arguably.
have 4.
All right, 3. We've talked about it already.
Yep.
Goodfellas.
Mm.
So good. It's just every moment of that movie is doing what we were talking about before, where it's like every moment is so fun. You're so swept up in it. You're so enjoying the ride. And then those last 40 minutes where it just comes like crumbling down. Still super fun, like in terms of like the filmmaking of it. It's still like so electric that it almost doesn't give you a moment yet to catch up to like, oh shit, this is horrible. This is awful.
I know. I gotta tell you, I do love Goodfellas homages in television sitcoms.
Yeah.
So I think I would like the film.
Yes. Very good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
A little boring. Again, number 2, Taxi Driver.
That's the one I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, come
Oh,
on.
really? Are you
Yeah.
for real?
I
Yeah.
forgot Taxi Driver.
Idiot.
That's the one I feel like people would say is his
Yeah.
best normally,
Yes,
right? That's what
absolutely.
people would
Most
normally say.
Famous.
Yes.
Yeah. Just the perfect character study
Absolutely.
of this lost,
Travis Bickle.
disillusioned young
Fingers look like pickles.
young man, and how easy it is for him to get swept up by the wrong thing.
Again,
Yeah.
super relevant.
Super relevant
Very
today.
relevant.
Yeah, I mean, has been relevant for forever.
Takes
Sadly,
his dates to see porn.
Yep.
that does happen. Yeah.
Very relevant.
What do you mean?
You know, I mean,
It's one of those movies where, like, yeah, that sometimes I'll approach these like canonical classics, and this has happened like across my whole life, where like you come to a movie as a young film lover getting into the cinema and people are like, oh, you got to watch Casablanca. And you watch it and you're coming into it with this mind of like, this is one of the canonical classics.
And it gives you a boner, but you're not really listening.
Yeah, it's just because it's like it's not my movie.
Sorry, you said that was the same point. That was the point you were getting at.
But I feel like you watch Taxi Driver. At least I watched Taxi Driver, and
You splooge, but
I still feel just as like this is fantastic as
exactly what it is.
yeah. We're saying the same thing.
okay.
So.
I doesn't feel that way, but okay.
But I think that my number one probably is my number one because it does feel a little bit more like it's like our generation's movie in a way, which is Wolf of Wall Street. Like, I think like, I don't know. As I said, you could say any of these are the best. Taxi Driver maybe is like, there's more to, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. To me, like Wolf of Wall Street, like we watched it sometime in high school.
Yeah.
I do remember eating popcorn during that movie as well. I did.
Out of a bowl or
No, that was in theater. It was in a bag.
you didn't bring your own microwave?
No,
popcorn?
butter
And-
on
Can't do
top.
that.
I feel like we've kind of talked around it already so much in this, but like, yeah, I think it's the perfect example of like that strange Scorsese satire where you're so like put in this guy's state of mind. You're so swept up in like what he deems important. And as we were talking about also like all these movies he's made that are like about a crisis of faith or like, what do I believe in? Wolf of Wall Street to me is interesting because it's like his religion is money. Like, and that's the only thing that guides him. That's the only thing that matters to him. His morality is tied entirely to just making more money and nothing else matters. And that is like that is the modern religion to like so many people
Yeah.
in
Another
America.
one
And
that
can,
has last.
Yeah, exactly.
Still more, relevant than ever.
and like, and it is kind of about his, like, what is, his relationship to his like religion and spirituality when like religion and spirituality in the 20th century became for most people just money. And so I think like, thematically so interesting and every sequence is so fun. You totally get why this is his religion and they capture that so well, but it's all disgusting and horrific. And these are the people that are like, have ruined the world for most of us. And in the end, he gets off fine. And in fact, we largely idolize him and continue to. And it's like the joke we were, going to exploring with the sketch we just did. I think it's like, it's just a masterpiece. Like, I don't know. It's like a perfect movie to me.
Would
that
you
works.
say is that the best performance Scorsese has squeezed out of Leo in your opinion, or do you think you gotten better Leo in a different Scorsese flick?
That one's pretty damn.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Flawless.
I think it's Leo's best performance for sure.
Period. Or
I
from a Scorsese.
What is even close?
Revenant, Django Unchained, Basketball Diaries, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, the documentary about climate change. Those are the only.
I think Leo.
other Leo
Like, I think
movies
Leo
can
is
think
like a
of.
solid actor.
You think he's solid? That's insane.
I think Leo.
Solid? You
I
are
think
you are
Leo-
not being gracious enough for one of our best actors.
I think Leo is really
Clocks in, he clocks out.
I think Leo
Solid
is really
insane.
smart about
Do you
which
mean that?
movies he picks.
How do you feel about the New York that's presented in Wolf of Wall Street versus other Scorsese's views of New York? Because this one is quite different. You know what I mean? It's still an underworld of sorts, but it's an underworld that operates in broad daylight.
Oh.
Tim.
Tim.
Tim?
Oh shit! I gotta add Tim.
What do I think of that? I think it's great. I think that was such a good point.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll say my ranking one last time, wrap this up. So we got from bottom up, 26, Boxcar Bertha. 25, Who's That Knocking at My Door? 24, The Age of Innocence. 23, Hugo. 22, Aviator. 21, Mean Streets. 20, Bringing Out the Dead. 19, The Last Temptation of Christ. 18, I wrote the acronym and then I was like, what movie is this again? We've been talking for so long. The Last Temptation of Christ. 18, Cape Fear. 17, Casino. 16, 15, The Departed. 14, New York, New York. 13, Raging Bull. 12, After Hours. 11, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. 10, Killers of the Flower Moon. 9, Gangs of New York. 8, The Irishman. 7, Kundun. 6, Color of Money. 5, Shutter Island. 4, The King of Comedy. 3, Good Fellas. 2, Taxi, Driver. And 1, a movie with no controversy at all. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Thank you, Adam. Our mission is complete. We can go back home now. I'm walking here. I'm time traveling.